You know, they
literally
say you don't choose your bias chooses you.
Facts.
exactly.
She
exactly.
Jack Black,
And
you
so she chose
School
me.
Rock.
uh, yeah, and then like the sound check was like slightly different than like the sound check from Blackpink, where they didn't actually do full songs, but they did like a good number. They did
Yeah,
probably
they
like
did
the first
like
or
a
something.
minute of like 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah. Um. So, but then yeah, like everything was
That
over, and
was
like
the
that was
whole
just
Over the Sky.
yeah, that was what just the over the sky event. Um. That we had to pay extra for, but
Worth it.
Worth it.
um,
Oh yeah.
Worth it.
absolutely worth it. Something I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll take the next part.
yeah, go ahead.
So then after Over the Sky, we went back out and we had to reline up. So the VVIP, they had a number on your lanyard that was your place in line. Originally, I had like number like 195 or something because but my buddy Justin, who I met at Oh My Girl, was like, hey, my buddy and I have 13 and 14, and he can't go anymore. So I'm like, yo,
Wow.
I'll buy that from you and I'll sell mine. So I ended up selling my 160, 190, whatever, and then I got number 14.
Damn, what a
So
come
I was the
up.
14. Yeah, for real. Shout out to Justin for doing that.
What a
Let me
good
know.
guy.
So we lined up, went in through security, and then we had to reline up in the order of our lanyards. So there was some confusion here between the venue and I'm guessing the promoter.
You have a lot of
So
these incidents, man.
Yeah, for real.
I
Yeah.
think the
I know.
common
I
thing
still
is
have-
you.
Start seems
I
kind of
just-
seems sketchy.
kind of screwed over here. But so we go up. They let us in. They scan, or they already scanned our tickets and stuff. So we go in. You have to go up like 4 to 5 flights of stairs to get
Yeah, it was
to like
nuts.
the floor that they perform on. I've never seen it before. It wasn't like a ground floor thing. You had to go up multiple floors. And halfway up, all of a sudden a staff member yells at me and the group that I was in, and they're like, "Hey, you have to put those bags in coat check." And we're like, no, we already checked by security. We're good." Like we kept going. He starts yelling like, "No, stop!" So we stop because we don't want to get kicked out. And he's like, "You gotta go over there, wait in the line, and somebody will be there to check your bag." And he's like, "It's $4 cash." And we're like, "Oh, okay, whatever." We were not happy. We were screaming. We were yelling pretty much because there's people going past us who had numbers way higher than ours. We had like there was a group of us from like number 8 to number 14, and we all got held back. We went to the coat check, and there was nobody at the freaking desk for like 4 minutes.
Naturally.
So we're standing there for 4 minutes while all these other people are passing up and going up to the stage. And their tickets are way higher than ours. So we're like, what the heck's going on here? Luckily, we got in contact with one of like I guess the security or management, and he was like, okay, so we're sorry about the confusion, blah blah blah, and he basically was Moses. So he brought us up, he split the crowd, and he basically got us up almost to barricade. One of us was barricade, the rest of us were like one row back. So in the end, we still got really awesome views. Jiu is the queen of fan service. She
Oh, for sure.
like was looking at every fan, made sure everybody had an amazing time. Concert went off amazingly. It was super hype. Encores were great. Overall, it was an amazing show.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we had a group photo with the VVIP as well and a high touch. So you relined up on the stairs, go through, do your high touch, then you line up again, and then you get your group photo. And
Yeah.
so unfortunately, with the number we were at, we had a squad of like 6 to 8 people. So we went up, we lined up, and there were seven of the 8 of us there, and Zeg unfortunately was left out. They cut off the line right
Yeah, they
before
cut
he
the
had
line.
What the
us.
heck, man?
You
So
should
you
have
got the,
refused
like-
to get the picture taken.
Boo.
So we got the squad minus Zeg.
Did you
on
Photoshop
photo.
him in at least?
Yeah.
We should. I know I might have to work on that, but
You can tell in the photo. I was kind of miserable about that.
yeah, you can see it. But overall, Dreamcatcher was a freaking awesome concert. They're amazing fan service. Awesome songs. To hear that rock vibe that they have live was absolutely
Absolutely amazing.
I
Absolutely
bet it sounds
amazing.
awesome live. Like the rock stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's insane live.
And it was a super small venue too. It was like
Yeah.
comparable to like Fog. You went to Oh My Girl. It was comparable to like Oh My Girl.
Oh man, that's lit.
Yeah.
How
It was
many
like
sho-
a mini like rock concert. It was
How
amazing.
many shows did they have in the USA?
I think it was
I think
5.
5.
Oh
yeah, I
wow!
believe.
I do not remember seeing anything about
They're
this.
not.
I don't either.
They're not super pop. I mean, they weren't super popular.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
I mean, they were popular, but like, not a whole lot.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
Yeah, my experience was like slightly different. Basically starting up to the point where Josh and the
They
group of
ditched you?
people he was with had to get,
Picture.
they got shat on for their having a bag. So I was actually number 108 in line, and I didn't even know that had happened to Josh. Like I got up to the floor, and I call him like, dude, like where you at? Like I'm trying to get up to like the barrier and everything. He was down in the coat check, and I was like, oh shit. So
Yeah, this goes to show you. I had number 14. He had 108, and he was already up there before me.
yeah.
So you
like,
spent
I
money
ended up-
for nothing, is what you're saying.
Exactly. But he actually ended up getting up, pretty close to the barricade. But I actually ended up a couple people back, a little bit more to the right of the stage. But even then, like, because it was a small venue, like the view was just still absolutely incredible, and I still managed to have an amazing time.
And
So,
just
yeah.
a little tip: from now on, I will never bring another bag to a K-pop concert.
Fanny
From now on, I
packs.
only wear fanny packs.
Fanny pack
Part of their
came up
merch had
Did
a
you bring
fanny
a?
pack.
Did you bring a full backpack? What did you bring?
No, it was my
Duffel
oh my
bag?
girl. No, it was like a small little drawstring. And apparently they had an issue with it. So from now on, I
Dang,
don't
man.
even bring a drawstring, even if it's clear. I have a clear fanny pack that the card had as part of their merchandise, and that's all I bring to a concert now.
That's crazy.
Good work.
Yeah.
You learned. You learned.
Learn.
Yeah, I like for was it the high touch? Yeah, the high touch. Like that was like my first high touch experience. So even like going into that, I didn't even really know what it was. And then they dropped on us like, oh, they'll be handing you photo cards. So my first high touch was actually I got spoiled with the amount of time spent with each member.
I'm so
which
jealous.
I can kind of like bring up to like in the next one, but like because like I had those like maybe like 4 or 5 seconds, and I was able to get out, a thank you in Korean to each member. I'll never forget, like Dami was the first one, and when I did that, like her eyes like popped like wide open. She was like so surprised, and she like said that my pronunciation was like spot on.
Kudos.
That's the
and, like,
best.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, like hearing that from Dami was just, and it made me want to keep doing it to each member too. Just giving me so much more confidence to do it. So yeah, but then
Yeah, I
like
think-
after the concert was over, like that's when Dreamcatcher was my ultimate bias.
That's when you knew.
Dude,
That's what I knew.
sometimes it's just that moment, and you're like,
I mean, that's another, like, if they come tour again, we're definitely there.
oh
Like,
yeah.
From what
Oh,
we've
yeah.
learned about them,
I'm
mainly
spending
because of
all
like
the
you
money.
guys, of what we like learned about them and everything, and what we know is like we're definitely at that.
Yeah,
just wanna
and
see
next
Red Sun.
concert, Red Sun. Oh, that'd be awesome. I
man.
cannot wait to see their new music in a concert. But also, we all need to work together. If there's another Q&A, we have to ask them if they remember the Minx choreography.
Yes.
Because shout out to Minx. If
Shout
we
out
can
to
get them to
Minx.
perform Minx choreography,
We can do it.
That'd be legendary.
We
That
can
would
do
be
it.
Know it.
legendary.
Hopefully,
We
it's not a
still
sore
know it.
subject.
If you stand Luna hard enough,
Yeah.
we can make anything
If you
happen.
that's true.
That's also true.
I think that wraps up Dreamcatcher for us.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
pretty much.
though.
I mean, afterwards, like we just kind of hung out afterwards and being like, I forget
Got
what we
food.
did.
We went
Yeah,
to a
got
Mexican
food.
restaurant.
Classic.
Yeah, our bill was like $108.
Worth it.
It was nuts.
Let me
But
tell
yeah,
you,
totally worth it.
if you went to Denny's, it would not have been that much.
You're not
Shout out
wrong.
Mexican food
Probably
though. Mexican
90%
food's
of that,
awesome.
Yeah.
Probably
But to end that off, shout out to
20.
the squad.
Yeah, shout out to the squad.
That's dope, though.
Alright,
What is
think I
next
know
in our
what's next.
time live?
Our
Timeline.
next adventure was to Minneapolis
Oh
on
my goodness.
January 19th, 2020, to go see ITZY on the ITZY US Showcase.
Oh my gosh, this was the best.
And this was at State Theater, which actually is like literal legit walking distance from the Target Center, where like they play the sports at,
Where the Timberwolves.
and like the baseball field where the Minnesota Twins play at.
I will say, besides the fact that it was like negative,
It was like -3 outside.
negative whatever, Minneapolis seems like a really great city.
It seems like super
It
nice.
seems awesome. Like I loved it. It's just we
I'd want to go back during the summertime when it's like legit like
when
nice
you
outside.
didn't want to die if you stepped outside. But Minneapolis seemed really, really cool. Like as a city. I mean, we didn't really experience it much just because of how it went, but it was also just freezing. So
And it was like snowing and icy, and we got VIP P2 tickets for this. We didn't get the top ones because we wanted to have the because it was like different stuff, right? And we really wanted to get the autograph
P1
poster.
had fan sign.
Yeah, we wanted like the autograph poster, which is P3, but we didn't get P3. So I guess I guess we'll settle for P2. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I remember getting it was like actually like, I mean, hopefully it continues like this. But after getting those twice ones and that being super stressful, this one was like very easy to get the get like the VIP for. Like I remember like looking and they didn't have. I couldn't like find, or they just didn't have P3. Like I couldn't find it because I was like, oh, I wanted the autograph poster, but that wasn't there. So I was like, oh, we'll just get the second one, and like pretty much I think the top one went pretty quick because that was like a fan sign, but there's still some for that. So I was like, oh, we'll just get P2, and like that's
Save like $20.
a high touch in a photo. So yeah, that I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's just like the location or just because like it's is obviously not twice, but those was very easy to get. It was like some of the easiest tickets I've ever gotten in my life. Like,
And I will say the show itself was super great. Probably one of the best ones I've been to. We also like you were like right next to the speaker on the right side, so the bass was like bumping the whole time.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
They were really funny when they were playing games and stuff. We discovered apparently Leah understands no rules to any games ever.
she has
Apparently,
a tough time.
Oh no, yeah,
Tough
that was
time.
a mess.
But I will say my mind definitely changed about Chaeryeong, because on all the other shows when we saw her, she's kind of just like kind of like not really dull, but just kind of like somber face. She like doesn't show a lot of emotion or anything.
Yeah.
But when she was live, man, she was like just a fireball of energy and
It
excitement.
was
and
completely
just, like,
different.
She like
It
killed it
shocked
dancing
me.
to Beyonce.
It shocked me too. I was like,
yeah.
who is this? Like this
You're
is
not the same
awesome.
person at all. Like, what's happening
Yeah.
right now?
I have the same exact thought as you, because she was honestly, like, in ranking of members, she was probably my least favorite before the show.
Yeah.
Before the show,
And
yes.
then I saw her and how bubbly and how funny she was.
Hilarious.
And I honestly didn't really like her, but after the show, I love her. It was
It's like
great.
she's like
It was
completely
absolutely
different. It was
great.
crazy.
But
Completely different from what I expected.
But yeah, so we got that. The show's really good. The most surprising song for us live, even though you said it wasn't as great when you saw it, was Cherry, because that was freaking nuts.
The crowd overall, like in Minneapolis, was, I mean, it was packed in there, and like that crowd was just amazing. Like it was wild the whole time. Like everyone was obviously really into ITZY, and it was just, I mean, like it's just really hard to like put something over Twice Lights, but that really came close because that was just so fun. It had a really more like kind of relaxed, kind of like chill vibe to it, being in like the old theater and stuff like that, and like not like this giant venue. I mean, it was still pretty big, but it was just like more relaxed, and they just played games and were goofy and performed their songs. Like it was perfect. And I mean, I already loved ITZY a lot, but that only made me love him more. And yeah, it was that was really fun. Like that's honestly like it's close to like my favorite K-pop thing I've ever been to.
The only thing that was really crazy about it is, so the whole concert and stuff happened, and we were waiting because usually when you have the higher up tickets, you go for fan signs or high touch, you have to sit in place till everyone else leaves and then like cycle you through everything, right? But we were sitting there and the people were like, make sure you have these wristbands, blah blah blah, and all this stuff, and like half the people didn't even know they had to have wristbands to go do the thing.
We had
to ask the people when we got there, and like, oh yeah, I think you need to go get a wristband.
Yeah,
like,
we had to do that.
Oh boy.
And then there was we had our seats, and then like as the rows got closer to the stage, like they triangled off, so there's less and less seats as you get closer. And where we sat, there was literally like 4 seats in our row, and it was like us, and then this mom and her daughter, and they didn't even know they had the high touch or a photo. Like they're like, oh, like what is that? Like she's like, I'll hold your phone while you go up to them and I was like, actually, like, this is what you do. And but I had to like explain to them everything, and I was like, okay, you need to go to this table and get your wristband and everything, and they're like, had no idea about anything. I don't know how everyone just like.
There's people in P1 that had no idea they had to get wristbands.
The lady, they didn't even know it was like a thing.
Until the people were like, do you have your wristbands? And people were like, whoa, we need a wristbands? Like, yeah. There's a whole crowd of people that left to go get their wristbands and come back.
That's insane.
That
did not happen for us.
No. I was so funny. I was like, man, shout out to that mom and her daughter who just thought they were coming to a show, and then turns out they get to do a high touch.
And then when we went to get our wristbands, the people at the table that were giving them out, they're just like sitting there. And we're like, oh yeah, we're supposed to get a wristband, right? And like, oh yeah, I think so. What's your name? And we gave them our name. Like, okay, here you go. And then that was it. And I was like, there's no sign that said wristbands this way or P1, P2.
You kind of just had to figure it out yourself for us.
Yeah, we just were like, well, and I think because of like how Twice was like meeting, the president, we asked the main lady, we're like, yo, do we need a wristband? She's like, oh yeah, it's like over there. It was like the most it was like the most security, relaxed, like, chill. Nothing. Like they're like, yeah, it's over there somewhere, and like that's how that's just kind of how the whole show was. Like, which for the show it was awesome because it was just
pretty laid back.
It was just a laid back like it was just fun. It was like pure fun, and then
it was
obviously like the photo and everything was awesome. I showed Yeji my sweatshirt I had of her, and she saw that, so that was like a huge moment.
And we had the high touch wasn't as crazy, so you actually had like a couple seconds to like say hi and like actually like look at them and like touch them and like high five them and stuff.
No, not for us.
And then when
ours was so like everyone, all the staff, everyone was just like we were like talking to the staff members and like and
then like at the end
super like no one was pushy or anything.
We like were at the very last for like the photos, so we could make sure we were like in front of them, and we really like walked in and we like said hi and we talked to them and stuff, and they're just like, oh hey, like. Super cool, and we like right in front was like 6 other people, just like super chill, and we got our picture taken.
Yeah, because it was like I think normally like 10, like the photo was 10, and then obviously with Itzy only a few members, you like branch way off to the side. So if you're like that 10th person in the side chair, you're not even like in front of the girls. But so we kind of like played it cool, waiting for the back, and we like waited to the end of the line, and we got to be one of the last like 5-6 people. So each of us kind of got to sit in front of like a member.
Pro tip.
And, we're like just wait for the end.
That's awesome.
Go last.
It is just a thing of K-pop concerts. If you do all the VIP stuff, you're gonna have to wait in lines, but that's just how it is.
Because like when we did the Twice one, we were like the front row, so we were like nowhere close to Twice.
They also put 1,000 people in that photo. That is like there's so many people in that photo with us and Twice. It's like just so much.
And also the most I'd say the most memorable part is that's when we met twice Kpop Kimchi mom. Shout out to you. She saw our hoodies we wore because we had the time around our waist because it was kind of hot in there. And she was sitting behind us. She's like, is this like your guys' podcast? I was like, yeah, it is. She goes, oh, it's cool. Do you have like a business card or something? I'm like, no, but we got all these buttons. So I gave her like a bag of like 50, 60 buttons. And she went around and like gave them out to everybody. It was awesome.
Oh, she was
awesome.
Like,
she's like a legend.
We like gave her a couple and she's like, oh, you got any more? I literally handed her the whole bag. I was like, here you go.
And she like gave them out to everybody.
She handed them to everyone in line. This
free promotion.
It was the best thing ever. She was so nice. We took a picture with her. That concert was so fun. Everything about that concert was so
and like everyone was
fun.
Like nice.
Everyone was like nice and just chill. And Itzy was just amazing. And they're like my favorites. And it was great. And we had a fun road trip. That's always fun with the concert too. Is having a fun road trip.
And also the other crazy part was I remember she said she was handing them out. And there's actually people that took the buttons from her. And like, oh yeah, I listen to these guys. And I'm like, wow, someone actually listens to us. So that's the first time we ever heard of someone actually listening to us. So that was pretty cool.
They know we exist.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, wow, someone actually listens to us. Because we were like, what, like 20-some episodes into the podcast at that time? I don't know.
I mean, it was a while ago, but we had a few episodes.
But I was like, man, these guys
you
actually
were like
listen to us? That's
18 or
cool.
17,
something like that. Something like that.
But yeah, so the whole experience there is pretty cool.
We stayed in like an awesome...
this crazy, like, freaking... penthouse wild. I don't know.
Yeah, when I heard that your podcast about that sounded wild.
Dude, it was the craziest thing ever.
It was pretty much, it was like an Airbnb, and someone had like a downtown apartment in like a high rise, and that's what we stayed in. And it was like a 2-bedroom.
Super nice.
Yeah, it was so cool. I wish it was just like, I wish we had more time to be in like the city, because the city seemed awesome, and I wish it wasn't negative 1,000 degrees.
And it wasn't like a Sunday night, because we literally left, and like, we're so hungry, and there was nothing for us to eat, because everything was like closed. Or like
Even
5-mile
Denny's.
walking distance. There was no Denny's.
Oh,
Not
no.
downtown,
Oh,
not
no.
yeah, because it was like all right downtown in the city. So we were like, we'll walk somewhere. We're up for it because we were all hyped after the concert.
And like
you know?
all
and
the stores were closed.
everything was
everything.
like closed, and it was like a snowstorm too. So there was like snow everywhere, and
So we're both starving. And it's like, what? 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so hungry.
and there was like one gas station, but it was like 3.5 miles away, which usually we've done where we've just walked and it's fine. But it was so cold.
but it
we're
was like
"Ah,
legit negative
maybe
3
not,
outside.
maybe
I'm like,
not
nah.
today. But it was that was just a great trip. Like,
But it was
everything-
fun.
Everything about that trip.
We
was
did
just
do an
really
episode
fun.
on it, so I mean, if you guys want to hear about that, you can
That
check
was
that
a lot.
out.
It's crazy. A long time ago now.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, that covers that. That was a good time. Itzy was awesome live.
They
I
went
suggest
to-
seeing them.
They saw Itzy. Did you guys see Itzy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
saw
want
it.
to say something real quick before we get into ITZY.
Go for it.
So you reminded me when you talked about the daughter and the mom being at ITZY.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
just a quick throwback to the Red Velvet fan meet. There was a father and a daughter sitting in front of me, and I can't remember if it was right before the show or during the show. On his phone, you could see him Googling Red Velvet. Like he had
That's
no
awesome.
That's so awesome.
where he was at, what he was seeing at all. So he was Googling it while he was in his seat, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever.
Hey, shout out to those parents though, supporting their kids and buying them these tickets.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
for
the
sure.
coolest
Shout out
thing.
to
I remember it twice. Like when we tried to wait for some merch, we tried for a little bit. There was a mom and a daughter behind us, and we just got talking to them, and they were from like Oklahoma, and they drove to see Twice in Chicago. I was like, that's so cool that like it just like brings people from everywhere. Like,
Oh yeah, one lady was like, "Oh yeah, we came from like Oklahoma. We came from like South Dakota." I'm like, "Oh
That's a
man,
drive.
that's crazy."
Yeah,
Wow.
there were some people who came very far to see those concerts, but I just thought it was so funny that mom was like, "Oh, I'll hold the phone for you to get a picture with them." I'm like, "Well, it kind of works a little differently than that." Like, it's like, and then you go and slap their hand, and she's like, "Oh, what do you like?" They were so like, "Oh, that's cool." I was like, "What an awesome thing
She
to
like
discover."
she like didn't even know
They-
what she got to do. She thought just her daughter did it. I'm like, no, you bought the ticket. You all get to do
she
it.
had no idea. I was like, "Yeah, you just gotta go get your wristband, and you'll be fine." So shout out to
Shout
them.
out
They're like,
to
we
that
need
mom.
wristbands.
Shout out to
I
them
think it's
to like
having no clue what was happening.
literally, they were leaving. They were gonna leave, and I was like, I asked, "Did you guys get the your wristband?" Because I honestly like looked just to see if they had them because I knew other people were confused. You could see the mass of people confused. And I was like, I'll see if these people have them because obviously they're sitting here, so I know they should, and they didn't, and that's how that all happened.
But what was your guys' experience?
You want to
So-
start, Josh?
Where'd you see
wanna
him
start
at?
with me?
Where'd you see him at?
We saw him in New York,
Okay,
King's Theater.
okay.
This is actually the only my story to get to the New York was actually a crap show. This was the first time I ever missed a flight, but that's a whole other issue.
That's another story for
I
another guest
basically, I was
appearance.
supposed to show up the night before, didn't happen. Showed up at the day of. It was a mess, but we got there to the concert. That's what matters. Shout out again to my friend Alex. He let both me and Zeg crash at his place this time.
Yeah.
What a good
shout
guy.
out.
Dude,
Shout out
he's
Alex.
if I
Amazing
ever go
person.
to New York, I just gotta hit him up. He'll always let me stay. So huge thanks to
KCON,
him.
we'll be there.
We'll be
Everyone,
there, Alex.
Okay,
bring
the
the whole
Squad's
crew.
coming.
Yeah, we're gonna pack his apartment.
call
So for
the tub.
me, or for both of us, we both got P2. It was me, Alex, and Zeg all in a row, which was the group photo in the high touch.
Unplanned, by the way. We had no idea where we were. all
Yeah,
sitting.
not planned. So I bought tickets for me and Alex, and then Zeg bought his own. And then they were like, as we get up to the show, we're like, "Hey, where are your tickets at?" And he was seated literally right next to us. Not
That's
even
what we
planned.
call fate.
That was him
It
getting
was
back at you
literally
for
bad.
leaving him out of the Dreamcatcher photo.
For real.
He's like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be here this time, damn it.
I'm ruining this for this guy.
Concert was or not concert. It was technically it was a showcase, so that was really cool. You got to see them play their games.
That's the
a lot of whole
best. It's
fun.
like my favorite thing.
The only what you guys said with Cherry, it was different in New York. It was cool, like it was kind of hype, but for Cherry, I don't know what it was, but like people weren't into it. Like I it's one of my favorite songs of theirs. I loved it, but there wasn't a great fan reaction to it, and I don't know why. I don't
Yeah.
know. People were
Yeah.
kind of almost too calm.
That's
it
weird
kind of
to
brought
me.
the
That's
thing down
weird.
a little bit.
You
Yeah,
heard
it
it
was
here
pretty
first,
disappointing.
folks. The Midwest fan base is way better than
Dude,
the East Coast.
that Minneapolis crowd was like they were just like everyone was just like ready from the beginning, just singing, standing up like the whole
like yelling,
time.
freaking out.
Like they were like I don't know if it's because everyone was just like finally had something to do and from like just from it being cold and no one had anything to do except like this ITZY concert or what, but like everyone was like ready to go at that concert, and like for that it was awesome.
It's pretty much like exactly how you explained what Dumb Liddy and Bomb Bomb was. Like people were.
It
Oh
was.
my God. We were all jumping and bumping into each other. It was awesome.
I wish there wasn't.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't like full seated, because then it would have been like definitely like just like everyone going crazy running around.
Somebody would have opened the pit up. Let's put it that way.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
But no, it was awesome. So it kind of sucks you guys didn't get that same experience though, because that song
That's
goes
just
hard.
weird.
Man.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it was still a cool showcase. I mean,
Yeah, it was still a really good
played
show.
a bunch of games. That was a whole lot of fun. You got to see him be goofballs up there.
Right.
Chaeryong obviously stole part of my heart there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it was cool. Is that anything special
Yeah.
about this one?
I think honestly, like I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than you and Alex. But like at the same time, like I still shared like I wish there was a little bit more music to it. You know, and of course, like after like they left New York, or no, while they were in New York, like the next day, they announced like their comeback, one that they just had.
I was so bummed.
Yeah, the It's Me
Yeah,
album.
but, like-
That's something that bugs me is when they go, like a group goes on a big tour, and then as soon as they end the tour, they announce a big comeback. I know why, because they want you to buy concert tickets again. I mean, it's a business.
Damn
they
it,
gotta
it
make their money,
worked.
so
I always
and
will.
it's gonna
And
work.
it's
When they come
gonna
back,
work.
I'm gonna buy more tickets.
Absolutely. But I don't know, like I think I enjoyed it just so much. And that's where Yeji kind of like stole my bias. Was at the concert. Originally I went in there as a Leah bias, but I came out a Yeji bias.
She stole you.
She stole me.
Snatched him.
Yeah, and I think like the most memorable part, like for me, like aside from just the show itself, was like the high touch. Like so that was actually my second high touch experience. So like remember from before, like I was spoiled with like a 5-second thing like with each member. I tried to keep that up and I got rushed. Like I felt like
they
a
were
hand like
rushing
pushed
us
me
through.
forward and I was like, oh shit. So like I mean it kind of sucked there, but like the reason why it was like more memorable was just like Yeji's like reaction to like every single person that came up for the high five. She was just like the biggest smile on her face. Like she was like so excited to be there. Like led into the high five. Just super happy about everything that was going on in the world. So like that like just really stuck out. Like it was just awesome.
They were
Yeah,
all
for
just.
me,
Oh,
what
sorry,
made it
Josh. You
better?
go.
For me, what would have made it better is I wish there was just a little bit more music to it. Like I said, it was still awesome seeing him play games and have fun, but I just wish they would have had a couple more songs to perform. That would be my one critique if I even
I
had
mean, at
one.
that time, they only had like 8
Two
songs.
two mini albums.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
And
two-
they performed like
Yeah.
5 or 6 of them.
All of
So.
it.
yeah. If they put out "It's Me" before the concert, that would have been crazy seeing "Wannabe" and
Oh,
because that
would've
whole
been
album,
so-
that whole album is just full of bangers.
It's every single song, amazing song.
It's
Love that
crazy
album.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the shark.
Yeah, and
word.
shout out to Alex again for letting us stay at his place. He
Shout
almost
out
didn't
to
go to the
Alex.
concert. He was gonna say no and let us go, just us two, and give up his ticket, and we convinced him not to. So
Yeah.
Way to go, Alex. You did the right thing.
he made the right choice.
He did.
That one was really fun. That one is tough to beat. I don't know. I just can't put over twice, but it's right there. I really thought that was a really fun concert. But yeah, that was ITZY. I hope they come back.
I'm sure they will.
They will. They weren't even.
Oh, they will.
They weren't
They were
even a
for a
year. They weren't even. They were still rookies at the time. So
I was shocked when they announced it, just
Oh, I was
how,
too.
how young they were.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap, they just came out and they're coming.
I remember the. Oh shoot! I forgot the people that put on those concerts that have brought other people.
Sub
Oh,
K.
yeah, Sub K. Like they have their little tweet where it's like the eyes, the side eyes, and it's either like with eyelashes or not, and it's like a girl group, guy group, and then it was with eyelashes. I was like, oh my gosh!
Oh, wow, I
like
never noticed that.
I was
before.
like, what? Yeah, I was like, what? Who is it gonna be? Like what? And I had no idea, and I was like, oh my gosh! Like, is he? Let's go! I was so excited for that one. That one was just a blast. I was hoping it was CLC, but I mean, just foiled again.
That would have been
Yeah.
awesome.
we can all hope.
People were saying Fromos 9 in the comments, and I was like,
Oh, I would've freaked out if it was
let's
Fromos
go.
9.
But
They
Didn't
need
happen.
to make a tour. Let's be real.
didn't happen. People
They
would
do.
go.
I'd go.
We would go.
I'd go.
I love
Yeah,
Promised Land.
you'd all go. So I think what's
And
next.
speaking
is the
about
big
one that we've all gone to,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
our last show that we've all seen because there's no more.
Yeah, it's true.
There's yeah.
March 11th, a big day. We saw Everglow in Chicago on the Everlasting Tour.
All of us together.
And this one, at the end of the show, was the 30 seconds that changed our lives forever.
All met each other.
Sure.
The one picture in 30 seconds.
Now, this was the first show we'd been to. I think that was like the music taste type thing.
Yeah.
So I saw
That was mine too.
like right after Itzy, I had super bad concert depression. Like after concert depression, I was like super sad. But luckily, literally like the next day, Everglow got announced, so that like cheered that super quick. So I was like, all right, let's go, let's do this. But since we didn't really work with that website before, I had to go on.
He worked his ticket magic again.
I mean, it was pretty much just like shout out to all the fans, the people who are generous on Twitter. I just went there, learned. I asked people what you had to do, and then people were generous enough to send me their codes for Chicago and all that stuff.
Because a lot of them couldn't even go.
Yeah, someone was like, yeah, I can't. It was just like, oh, I can't go to school, blah, 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 blah. Some people were trying to, like, charge money, but a bunch of people gave me codes. Shout out to you guys. And then Fall got us the tickets. It was really stressful, like, learning about it, because it's not like a normal ticket process, but once you figured it out, I don't think we really had too much trouble getting those tickets.
No, I literally just logged on, got him, and it was done. I know nothing about anything, so I count on Justin to get us our tickets. Unless he tells me where to go, then I'll buy them when the time arises. But
Justin is the literal ticket master.
the whole, like, finding the tickets or, like, special things and all this stuff.
Well,
No.
that's why that's why it's so like you got the little special like bonus thing. Did you do that?
I
You
did.
Yeah, you both did, right?
I didn't know.
You
No,
didn't.
I was the
wasn't
only one
sure.
out of
You were
all
the
of us.
only.
Just
Yeah,
Zach.
I didn't even know about that. So that's why I was like bummed about that. But I remember getting those tickets though. The whatever site it was. Because I don't know if it was Ticketmaster or it was like something else. It like crashed, so we couldn't even get the tickets at the time they came out. They had to like re-release a day.
Oh.
It was like oh, we're doing it like in 8 hours. So then
Yeah, it was really weird because
It
like
broke.
Oh, I
like,
remember that. I
it
remember
broke.
that.
It
I
didn't
just,
work.
Got on
That
at
was
work
smart,
at like the second time, and there's like no traffic, no anything. I just got on, bought the tickets, and it was done with.
I was like, yeah, instead of
Oh, that's
11 a.m.,
sweet.
it's like 3. So if you could get them, that'd be cool. And luckily,
Yeah,
we
well, I
were
think-
able to get them.
I think what the issue was they tried to release all of the venues at the same time, and all that traffic just broke the site. So then
Literally.
they had to break it up, be like, okay, these two venues are going to open up at 2 p.m. EST. These are going to open up at 3 p.m.
Yeah, they had to like
yeah.
stagger it. I remember being really bummed. I was like, no, not this again. And then like going on Twitter and just seeing like the instant reactions of people being like, this isn't working. This isn't working. I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. And then
Yeah.
luckily they like actually organized it and we were able to get our. This is the first time I've ever heard of VVIP.
So shout out to those tastemakers that hooked us up. You're the real
Yeah,
real
shout out
heroes.
Makers.
But yeah, we got VVIP, the most elite of the elite. I feel like
That was
Top
prestigious.
on a scale that has to be higher than gold level VIP tier 1, because there's 2 V's in it.
It's true.
It's very,
V's
very
is a
important.
very,
More
very
V's
important.
means very,
The
very
more
important.
V's,
yeah.
obviously, the more important you are. So
Yeah, that's true.
that was pretty cool. But yeah, that was we got a lot of perks off of that. What was it? It was like signed
list
photo
up here, right here.
cards.
Josh, you got the
So
list.
Never mind, Josh has a
Yeah.
list.
First entry, high touch, group photo with a group of 10, Everglow lanyard, and a photo card set that was actually signed by each member.
That was like the
most.
most excited thing. I was like so excited for that. I thought that was like the coolest perk. I'd never had a perk like that, so I was like, oh, let's go. Like I'm getting these photo cards.
That was my first time getting signed photo card too. Yeah.
They look like legit too.
Yeah,
They look like nice.
and
Yeah.
they're for the tour. Like the back is like the
Exclusive
everlasting
for the
tour.
tour.
So it's like
Yeah.
only the
Yeah,
people. It's like very exclusive. So I thought that was a really cool
Yeah.
perk. But
Zeg, what happened at the extra event that you went to?
Oh yeah. So like starting out, like I remember getting a notification. I think it was Twitter, just saying, "Hey, like this was going on," and then I immediately bought the tickets and then I shared it to everybody in our group chat. So I was being selfish.
left us
Thanks for-
out.
thanks for
left
hitting
us out.
Nah, but I mean everybody was like, "Nah, I can't really afford it," or "I don't really want to do it," or some form of that. But
Was it a lot more?
Yeah,
it
how
was.
much was
I think it was another
It's
like
like extra,
150.
150, yeah.
I
It wasn't
would've
like
done
a crazy
I
amount.
couldn't afford it at
Like,
the time.
Yeah.
I would have done it. We would have done it.
I would have done it. We would have pooled our money.
I would have just
done
been
it.
like, I mean, I was like, well, you never get a chance to get a picture with just you and them, so got to.
Yeah.
Like,
Not only that, but it's like
I-
one of those things we always say that even though some of these groups are really popular, they may never come back again.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I
it took
regret
like a
not buying it.
crowdsourced funding vote thing to get him here to begin with. So, you know, if you have the
Yeah.
opportunity, you got to do it.
Oh, absolutely. Like you just have to. And like one of the other perks that like really caught my eye was you got to have a personal item signed by them at the event.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So like, of course, like I was freaking out up until like the day before I left. Like I had no clue what
Samurai
I wanted to
sword.
Yeah. Shout out to
Whoa, it's all I had on me.
Step Brothers.
Step Bro-
You want to watch movies? Join the Kpop
Join the
Kimchi
Discord.
podcast Discord.
Yeah, we have movie nights where we teach people about American culture.
Yeah. Shout out to Emmy.
Watch Step Brothers.
Watch Step Brothers.
But yeah, like that event, it was like crazy because like it started at 2:00, but that's exactly when the merch line opened. So like I actually didn't have an opportunity to get merch, but luckily my boy Marcus hooked me up and like bought it for me, and then I paid it back later.
Marcus, where are you? Why aren't
Shout
you in the
out
chat?
Marcus.
We'll get him in the Discord.
We'll get them. So yeah, like the event was like I thought there was going to be like a Q&A, but it was actually not. It was just you get your stuff signed and then you took a photo with them.
I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually brought the Reminiscence album poster with me, and that's what I ended up getting signed. And each member signed, their their picture on the poster. So now I can say I have like a one of a kind album poster because it's signed. No one else has that.
Awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
That is sick.
So and like because like it was like in that style, like you actually got to have a conversation with each of the members as they were signing stuff. I had no clue what I wanted to like say to any of them. And it was funny, like as I was stepping up to Mia, who was the first one,
Oh goodness.
I just
man.
blurted out, like she's my bias.
You're so pretty.
Imagine
like-
Mia being the first one you talk to and see.
Exactly.
A real test.
Exactly, man. And then it was like her and then EU, and they're like my top two like for Everglow. And I just remember saying, I cannot believe that this is real right now. And I mean, I got them to laugh at it, so like I guess that works.
You made your idols laugh, bro.
I made
That's
my
what it's all
idols
about,
laugh.
man. That's what it's all about.
And then I honestly forget the exact order, but I know when I got to Sihan, who's actually coming from my buy spot, shout out to Sihan.
What an
she-
angel.
A real angel. I just remember like it clicked in my head. I was like, oh shoot, like I remember seeing you like on Running Man. Like it was like you were like a special guest on Running Man. So I told her, I was like, hey, like I saw you on Running Man, and like you were like really good. Like good job. Like I really enjoyed watching you on that. And then as I like kept doing that, I remember that Anda was on there and Yeren was on there.
Anda was there.
She was
So
there.
they
Congrats.
were there, like they had like significant roles in the episode, but like they didn't show up until like much later because it was supposed to be a surprise. Even Sion didn't even know that she was there, or they were there.
I was like, wow, she didn't even know she was on the show? Man, that's,
Yeah.
Deception.
Whoa,
That's
what
a-
are these
that's
cameras?
know,
a
weird.
fourth wall.
Whoa.
So yeah, like because I didn't know anything to talk to other than that, like I just talked about that, and like that went such a long way, and like made that experience so much better.
You should have asked her what was
Yeah.
better, Produce 101 or Produce 48.
Well, see, at the time I didn't know. Well, I knew about 101 48, but like I didn't know that they were on there. I should have. If I knew, I would have done it.
We need to know that.
It's like asking if
Should've
Steve
asked her
Kerr
if
if the
she
words are
likes-
better than the rules.
Should have asked her if she likes purified water or spring water.
That's the real
Yeah.
question.
So
That's
many
the real
questions for next time. So many questions.
Exactly. So then we just like went up and got the group photo or the one-on-one picture, and of course, as you've seen a couple times, like my picture, Mia was next to me. I forget who the other one was, to be honest, but I know Mia was there, right on the right side of me.
Ando, classic is
Yeah.
Ando.
Jonathan's gonna be pissed.
But like I fell into the trap of I had no clue what pose to do. You could see all the poses everyone else was doing, but it wasn't like sitting down where I could like put my hands out and do the same pose as Dreamcatcher. So
Should
I
have
just
taken a
did like a
knee.
little like, huh?
Should have just taken a knee.
I should have taken the knee. I was actually thinking about doing a Slav squat with everybody.
Oh my
Man, that would
God.
have been so
That would have been the best photo
funny.
ever.
Oh
That
my
would have been the
gosh.
best photo ever.
But I froze and like I just said, oh, let's just do the finger heart, and like we just ended up
Classic.
doing finger heart. And then after looking at the picture when everything was over, like that's when I realized how tall Aja really is.
Dude, she's so tall.
Like I'm 6
God.
foot and like she was like almost my height, and I was like, wow, like you're really tall.
I'm glad you had that picture because now we can see that size differential of just like how tall
We
they
always
are.
wonder like
We
how
always
tall
wonder.
they actually are because they look like they have like really long legs, but they're like 5'2", and you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Right.
But now
Now
we
we
actually
have
know how tall you are standing next to them, so we
So-
can actually get like a good like gauge
A
on how
reference
tall
point.
they actually
Yeah,
are.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The measuring stick we needed.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Um, but yeah, like that lasted maybe all of like 30 minutes.
Dude, that's awesome.
But I mean, for $1.50, like I mean, totally worth it. And I think after that, I think we just like went and we hung out somewhere before.
Yeah, we went and got food. We had a squad of 6 people, I think, or 7 people. We went out and got food, did some shots to pregame because you got to.
Got to.
Hey, this man just turned 21, so
Yeah,
it was
this
his
was my first concert after I
21,
turned
so-
21, so we did a ski
That's
shot
good.
to celebrate.
Because you guys were there way before we got there. Because actually,
Yeah.
when you guys
For a
were doing
while.
all this stuff, we were recording our episode where we were driving to the Everglow concert.
Oh yeah, at 2 o'clock we were still multiple hours away.
Yeah, we were like 9. I don't know if we were in Bloomington yet.
we stopped at and we like stopped at one of the in Chicago. They have the overpass Oasis things where you can like
Dude,
over the
that
highway.
blew my mind when I first saw one of those.
The Oasis,
That-
yeah. We had
I've
some
never seen that
Sbarro,
before in my life. That blew my mind.
New York's
I
finest
love
pizza.
Yeah, we love the Oasis. We would like when I would go visit him in Chicago. We would literally just go to those sometimes and be like, hey, do you want to go like get Sbarro pizza? And we just go sit in there. So we did that. We just like went and
Watch
just,
the cars go
We were
under
just
us.
like getting tripped out by the cars driving underneath us, eating our pizza. Like we I mean, like, we didn't know about it. I was like, well, we would have been a little late for that because we got there.
We got there like literally like
We
when you
got there
saw
probably
us
about-
like we got there like
Yes.
maybe like 2-3 minutes before you guys even came back by us.
Yeah.
So I mean we weren't there very
We were
long.
there probably no more than like half an hour before the concert. Like, luckily we got since it was in that neighborhood in like
That's
down
like-
near like Wrigleyville and stuff.
There's like no parking and it's like always busy.
And we were like, oh, this is gonna suck. But luckily we like made one right turn right past the venue, and there was like a golden spot right there. You didn't even have to pay. It was-
Nice.
yeah,
it
we
was,
were
like,
like maybe not even a half a block away.
And we were like,
walked
all
out
right,
there.
all right, cool. Like, let's
Awesome.
go. So we just like strolled up and
Yeah.
got in line, and we figured that out. Got our wristbands and everything we needed. And then that was when we met you, Josh. That was when we met
Yeah,
you.
so apparently, me, you, and another guy in the Discord, Mike, apparently we met before the concert. I very vaguely remember this.
You were too
you were,
busy being angry.
You were so mad. I
Oh,
was
yeah,
gonna
so
say,
Yeah, he was
another
feeling.
back. Yeah, so I always end up getting shafted with tickets and like placements in line. So this time, our wristbands all had numbers on them. I was 23, I believe. And then we were told you get in line by what's on your wristband. So we're like, okay, so we don't got to line up for the whole time. We went out. We went to eat. We went to the hotel because it was like literally a block away. We chilled for a little while, and when we came back, we tried to get in line with our wristbands, and staff was like, and the fans were like, no, you go by the one that's on your hand. And I'm like, what do you mean? What's on your hand? So apparently there was a Sharpie that was passed out that me and my boy Mike never saw. That people were making unofficial line placements, and somehow they convinced the staff that those were the official line placements. So people who should have been farther back in line were in front of us, and the best like we explained to the staff all this, and the best they could do was put us at the corner of the building. So I'm like, whatever, I'm not happy, but I'm still gonna go to see him, so it's cool. and apparently this is where I met you guys for like a brief couple minutes while we were waiting in line. I don't remember it because I was too busy being angry, but
It's true.
that was our
That
unofficial first meeting, or I guess our official first meeting.
Because we knew Mike from social media. Shout out Mike. And we were just saying, like, we'd talked to him a lot on there, and we're like, oh, you're going? Like, we finally want to meet. And we're just like, oh, like, we think we kind of know what Mike looks like. We're not 100% sure. And then, like, sure enough, like, we got pushed back to that little corner, and then, like, you guys looped around. And Mike was like, hey, what's up, guys? It was, like, perfect timing. We're like, oh, hey.
It's because I put that Kpop Kimchi sticker on my
your sweatshirt.
my
And he, like,
sweatshirt.
saw it,
And he's
yeah.
like, oh, hey.
He's like, oh, are you guys them? And we're like, yes, we are them.
Yes.
And then we're like, this
I
is
wish
my
I
friend.
remembered this.
This is my friend Josh, and he's like, I got the Sharpie, or they wrote the wrong number. You were so mad. First memory of you was you were so mad, and all I was thinking, I was like, man, glad we didn't have to deal with that.
He was
Like,
blinded by fury.
because we literally just
don't know
walked
what
up
it
and
is.
we were just like there, and we're like, okay, we're here, and then you're like, oh, I was here for hours. I'm like, ooh, I'm glad we didn't have to do any of that. Like,
Yeah, I
you
actually
guys,
benefited from that. It's like
Yeah,
I was
you
actually
did.
multiple places. Like I think the Sharpie that I had written on me was number 13. I was like number 30 for the wristband. So
I'm still confused
I
when
actually
the Sharpie came through.
no idea how
so
that
it
happened.
came around like when I was there. It's like I got there around like 7 in the morning. I'm like that's when it was going around.
Dang, that's so early.
But like
I was not awake.
Yeah, he
I was
there
gonna
holding
say,
down the spot for us.
Mike
I
like
showed-
hit Justin up and was like, yo, you
Yeah,
guys
no,
here
when
yet? It's
I-
like at 11 o'clock. We're like, no.
Because, like, I mean, like, it was a miracle, but, like, I was able to get a day off work then, and I was like, I'm not setting an alarm. I don't care. I don't have to do any work. Like, we'll be fine, because the concert's at night, obviously. And, like, I woke up at whatever time, and I had a message from Mike and a picture in line. He's like, you guys almost here? Like, we're here. I'm like, we're on our way. I was like,
And we're, like,
in my-
3.5
I was like-
hours
I was like
away.
in my bed, and I, like, fell back asleep.
It's like, nope.
That's awesome.
I was really confused. I was like,
Are we supposed to be? Like, are
I
we
was
missing
like
it?
actually kind of stressed. I was like, are we supposed to
Oh,
be?
that's
Just, like-
when you found that post that said when all the events and stuff were, but it was in like military
Yeah,
time.
he sent me. He's like, "Here's when everything is," and it was in military time, and I was
Oh.
like, "What?"
He's like, where did you even find this at?
He's like, "Oh, I found it on some fan thing." I'm like, he's like, "Some fan sent it to me," and I'm like, "What is going on?" I was so mad about that.
He was
because
really
I
mad about
hate
it.
when. Well, I just hate when stuff like that, when the venues or whatever, the people don't communicate with the people, or like the people going, like, this is when you need to be here. This is when this is, just so we know when we're supposed to be somewhere.
So like if you live far away, you can like get there like in
Yeah,
a relatively
like, just- I would
Communication is key.
Yeah, I would like to know where I'm supposed to be at a certain time. So that was like,
Remember
I mean,
time zone differences.
I'm not saying I'll be there on time, but I'd like to know if I wanted to be there on time.
Yeah,
There's
how
a
much
time I
can
need to be there by.
sleep and eat pizza in the Oasis before I have to be there? Like that, but I mean, luckily it worked out. Like right when we got there, we met Mike. Then we met you. You were too angry. We didn't know.
So we met you. You didn't meet us, and then
Yeah, we'll go with that. I didn't meet you, but you
and then we like went into the show, and we got some really good seats because you guys were like way up in the front, like in the front where we could have been.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to deal with this right now. So we like legit like so like a couple rows behind you. There's like the next level up with like the bar, you know, that separate them, and we were like right at the bar, like right at the edge. So we had like great seats over like everybody,
Okay.
Because we already
okay.
kind of we
like
already
front
kind
and
of,
center,
like,
like right in front.
like we already weren't in the first like one or two rows, so we're like, you know, it's not bad to have a bar that we can just like put our feet on, and it's raised up higher, so we won't have to worry about
You
anyone
can
being
see
in
over
front
top
of
of
us.
people.
So like maybe the fourth row with the folding chairs, like maybe we can just jump back to the bar row.
And I mean, it was like we were like dead center, like
Yeah, we were like right in the
in the
center.
middle.
We met some really cool guys there and talked to them. I wish that we like got their info because they were really really cool.
Hey, they got our info.
Yeah, hopefully they listen.
I gave them a bunch of stickers.
Hopefully they listen.
Hey.
To They were very cool though. Those guys were.
They're super cool.
Those guys were awesome. But yeah, we had great seats. You guys had even better seats. But I mean, that show was like all the other ones we've been to. That show was incredible.
Oh my
Definitely
gosh,
like
really
fell
cool.
in love with Everglow more after
Way
like
more.
seeing them. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, our seats, shout out to Squad for saving me and Mike a seat. We were second row, dead center stage.
Yeah.
I know.
so,
We saw you from the back of your
perfect
heads.
view and
We
everything.
were like 3 feet away.
We were literally like a stone's throw away from you. Like we were like right behind you. It's like, oh hey,
Yeah.
look, it's Mike and
Yeah,
that
it
other
was
guy.
great.
It's Mike and that angry kid.
Concert was phenomenal. I like you just said. I liked them beforehand, afterwards, I absolutely loved them. They totally stole my heart. It was crazy. Player,
Oh,
probably my
man.
favorite
That
performer.
was so
See,
hype.
good.
I
don't know,
never heard that
Player was
song
so
until
hype.
then. And then I heard it, I was like, what is this? What's happening to
I
my
heard
body?
it and I liked it, and when I saw it live,
It's that
I
bass,
lost
man.
my
Once
mind.
you feel that bass, it's like, whoa.
Dude,
this
that's
is
what
a-
it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
when we saw Cherry. It was great.
It's like a good song.
Yeah,
it's like
that
a
one-
really good song, and then
yeah.
the bass drops in. You're like, this is it. This is the one.
Yeah, and actually, Mike, shout out to him. He won one of the
Oh
contest.
my gosh!
The tickets
Best moment of the
to
concert.
those,
Best moment.
raffle tickets. He won a signed Polaroid from, I think it was Shihyun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
So shout out to him for getting that.
Never been so excited for anyone in my entire life.
I was so
yeah, I was
excited.
screaming for
We
him.
were like, let's go, Mike. He was like one of the first people too.
He's like, it's me!
We're like, yes, Mike did it. I've known you for 30 seconds, but
Let's
you did it. That was very cool though, because they had like the photos they took like before the show, and there was only like 12 or something of them. So
Super elite.
super exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they had high touch and group photo, which we all. You guys had
I didn't even
VIP too.
remember High Touch.
I don't remember.
I honestly, that high touch, I do not remember either. That was very.
Everyone had like hand sanitizer and a high touch, and my hands were like super wet because
I
it was
mean,
like
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a little backstory for those listening. This was right during COVID-19.
like legit.
Like,
Like I went there thinking I was gonna
wondering
get
if
it.
was even gonna if it was gonna get canceled. They
Yeah.
actually ended up canceling the show that was like 4 or 5 days after ours. So we had to get hand sanitizer before we high fived the girls. I know for the New York show or Newark, wherever it was, they actually did high. I don't even think they touched them. Originally, it was gonna be high elbows. Like they didn't touch
Oh man, I
elbows.
wish we did that.
But then they changed it just to a wave.
The forearms like a Bastion bro.
Should have salute
Yeah,
to the ladies.
Just
but
salute them.
but that was like-
we were the last show to actually get a real high touch.
it was because that going into that was when Corona was like starting to really come into
Like,
America.
ramp up.
It wasn't like a full blown thing yet, but going into that concert, everything was whatever. Like we all knew it was the thing. Sure, we're at the show. Leaving that concert was when like all heck broke loose because like that was when it like was discovered in the NBA. The NBA
That was when
season
it was
got
really
canceled.
spreading.
Like school, all the high school sports like shut down their state tournaments, businesses. Like it was literally like those few hours we saw Everglow. That was when shit hit the fan for the coronavirus in America. It was actually like
It was crazy. What is
It
while
was
we
really wild.
while we were sitting there, the NBA got canceled.
And we weren't on our phones because we're either like taking a picture or just watching. So we don't know what's going on in the outside world. And so like after the show, before the high touch, we're like looking, and like people were texting me like the NBA got canceled. Like no, it's like shut up.
It's
No,
like,
it
there's
didn't.
no way.
And then we're looking at on this news, and they're like it's canceled. This person has it. This is canceled. Like that was like the craziest 2 hours. Some of the craziest 2 hours in American history, and we were watching Everglow. I was like, well,
I'm shocked
We're
none of us
good.
from the
Like-
concert got it.
I
thought-
honestly went there
I'm
going
sure.
thinking I was gonna get it.
girl next to me had
Well,
a
I was-
mask on and coughed a couple times. I was like, I'm
Same.
done. Dang it.
Same.
I was like, ah, crap.
I was
Like,
fully convinced and accepting and ready to get it.
I was like, this is a great way to go out.
Somehow,
so.
nobody that I know got it from that concert.
Nobody I know got. Well, I only know you and you two. So, do
Yeah.
you guys have it?
They don't.
No.
All right, then we're fine. I don't. Yeah, it's crazy because there's so many people in there too, and I know it was like really spreading around Chicago really bad.
Yeah.
Oh, Chicago's
Everyone
one of the
shouting
worst-
and breathing in heavy and all that.
And like you guys said, like, I don't remember. What did they say? I forgot my thought. Keep going.
It
I'll
happens.
try and remember. I'm just too excited.
Well,
I'm trying to think. What was I going to say?
we were talking about the high touch and how we had to.
Photo maybe?
Oh, no. How you guys said that that show was like the last kind of like normal Everglow show on
Yeah,
the tour.
it
Like
was.
all the
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
all the other ones got like I
They had
think
two
the-
after ours. New York had the altered high touch, and then they canceled. I think
Yeah.
it was LA.
It was
Yeah, LA was done. LA they were just
Yeah,
like
they canceled it, and then it turned up one of the staff members for Everglow actually was a confirmed
Yeah,
case.
that was
and
freaky.
that
They probably got
kind
it
of
in
worried
New
all
York.
of us for
yeah.
the girls.
That was freaky, and I don't know. That was just a crazy 2 hours. I mean, we had probably about the most fun we could have possibly had.
Oh my
but
god!
just the
One of
the
my-
Yeah, but
world
the
was
rest
a
of the
fucking-
U.S. went to crap.
Also,
it was
fun
crazy.
fact, that was the last trip to Denny's we had, and the first time I had a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Hey,
All in the same day.
I
you
remember
go.
sitting like after that. We were like an hour away from home, and just sitting at that Denny's, and there was only like 2 other people like far away, and it was just really eerie feeling because we saw everything going on.
It was like a ghost town.
It was
like
it was just
nothing.
weird. Like you could just sense like everyone was kind of freaked out by what was going on, and we're just like, this is really weird. And then obviously from there it just kept going downhill. So,
And here we are today.
but the concert
Almost
was
2 months
amazing.
later.
The concert was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, the concert
Mia
was
was
phenomenal.
amazing fan service.
Oh,
Oh
the
my
best,
God,
absolutely.
the best, so good.
And I got a shout out to my boy Marcus. Asha kept looking at him like,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Like, it wasn't she was looking in our area. She was making eye
She's a
contact with
Blackpink.
him, and she's his bias. And I swear to God, she might have had a thing for him because she just kept looking at him and like giving him hearts and everything.
What a
Way to
good
go,
day.
Marcus.
Good
I'm
day,
gassing my
Marcus.
boy
Come
up,
join
telling
the
him to make his
Discord.
move.
Should have done it,
That was
Marcus.
great.
Come
I think
join
she
the
took all of
Discord
our
so we can
photos,
gas
too.
you up.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys,
Marcus.
you guys
yeah,
had.
Asha took my phone. That's right. I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, she took all of our phones and like took selfies with them.
Man, you guys were
Uh,
really in the splash zone. I'm jealous.
And, like-
they were close.
One of like the funniest things that I'm still like low key kind of salty about. I'll never let Marcus live it down. As they were coming around during like the encore, like taking people's phones and whatnot, Mia comes down and like squats down, like starts taking people's phone. She's my bias, and I had my phone up to her. Marcus went to get his phone back from her, and he knocked my phone out of my hands.
Oh, Marcus.
As she was reaching
And
for it.
as she was like about to reach for my phone, and I just like, I was so mad, but like in the
Gosh,
moment, like
party foul.
Dang it, Marcus, he did it on purpose.
right,
Never
but
mind. You're not joining the Discord.
Yeah, never mind. We don't want him here.
Sorry, Marcus.
You
but
lost
yeah,
your
like
chance.
probably 30 seconds later, Asha came over, and she got my phone. So shout out to my girl Asha for getting more points, for doing that. He'll keep a
She was
brother
so
up.
beautiful.
Oh yeah,
my God.
They
I was gonna
are
All
say
the girls were
gorgeous,
so beautiful.
gorgeous.
you use my bias and like Mia's like super just like captivating, but the whole time I could not take my eyes off of Asha. The whole time I was like, wow, you are a good looking
know.
person, and you are
Shout out
extremely tall.
That was what
Shout
it
out
was.
to Mia doing the baby shark dance and turning
Oh
into
yeah, the
sexy
baby shark.
Oh, you mean
She
breaking
was-
down that baby
that
she
shark?
was, she was all about it, man.
And,
She was
shout out-
awesome.
To old girl who put the question there, do the sexy dance and she danced to Havana.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God,
Oh yeah.
yes.
And didn't that girl have her question answered twice?
I think
Or, like
so.
a guy was like, man, shout out to you for getting 2 questions.
Shout out
answered."
to the 3 people that submitted questions
Gosh, I
and got
didn't
them
know you could
answered.
do that, but that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know about that.
Yeah,
But
that,
yeah, that
was,
was awesome.
overall an amazing concert. I cannot wait
There
to
was
see
lots.
them again.
There was lots of music in that one.
Oh, the covers were awesome
Yeah.
too that they did.
Fun.
Yeah, the covers
the-
they did.
Their special
They
stages.
did,
Uptown Funk. was
Bruno
one of them.
Mars, yeah. They did a BTS one. Didn't they do
They did like a
An
Lady
NCT.
Gaga song. Poker
Lady
Face.
Gaga? Didn't they do an NCT song?
Yeah, their encore was like them
was
dancing to a
twice
bunch of like
Blackpink.
different girls and guy songs.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I think it was
yeah.
BTS.
So that was awesome.
That was such a great
The
encore.
only
Like that
thing-
was so fun.
Yeah, I think the one thing that would have made it better is if they did their cover of No Tears Left to Cry.
Oh,
Oh my
If
goodness.
we
they
all
did
we were
that,
all
yeah.
waiting. We were
If
If
waiting.
they did that, we would have all been dead. We would.
I would
not
have paid the
survive.
money to just to go see that minute and 30 seconds and left.
Oh,
I'd have been
yeah.
happy.
I would have paid
Oh,
$200 just to watch that.
I thought
That
they
wonderful.
were. I thought they would, but they didn't. It's
Oh,
okay,
We weren't
but
ready. Let's
we-
be honest, we were not ready.
that would have been the best concert moment of all time. Like that would have been just incredible.
That would have been the best. But yeah, everyone was awesome.
Haven't
After
seen
the
the cover
show,
of No Tears Left to Cry? Go watch it. You
Go
are
watch it
missing
out.
out.
Please stream that because it's the best video.
we need to
On the
get that
internet.
to 1 billion views.
We
Yeah,
need to.
1
We
billion.
need to.
But yeah, after the show though, we met these guys outside and we gave them our shirt that we gave Mike and we took a picture with them for it so we could post it on Instagram.
And we took a picture of them and said bye. And,
And
that was how
it.
we all
And we
met.
left.
That was
That's
it.
it.
Literally, we met each other for about 30 to 45 seconds, and that was it.
it. And then we
Yeah.
It might have been like I don't know what was faster, that or the high touch. Honestly, like it was just a quick. It was a very.
Yeah, we had a, Zach,
was
we had
a-
a high touch with the Kpop Kimchi crew. How do you feel about that?
We did.
it's true you did.
And I was
Uh,
like, well, I was just thinking. I was
feel
like,
honored
we're.
now.
Oh yeah, sorry Zach, sorry to cut you off. But I was just like, man, it was like really cool. Just like, wow, we're all these cool bros that talk about K-pop and like what we don't like. We obviously like know each other, but we really didn't know anyone else. So it was like a super cool thing. Just like, oh, look at all these cool dudes just loving K-pop too and having a good time. So
Heck yeah.
It's true. So that's why we also started the Discord, so everyone could come talk
And now
to
we're
each other.
here.
And now we're here. So, everybody, come join the Discord. This is our plug. So,
Join our Discord and come talk to
Join the
us.
Discord.
yeah, the Discord's awesome. We talk about stuff. Like, there's people from literally all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always someone talking, like, different times during the day. And if you're super cool, you can come do fun stuff like this, like be guests on our show, because we like to...
We literally watch full movies.
We watch full movies.
Music
We watch
videos.
we figure out how to
Yeah, we're
watch
currently
watch
Watching
together.
Produce 101.
Yeah, so we'll, we did that. We streamed Produce 101 for the last couple of days, right?
Yep.
We learned about the Luniverse together. We watch a bunch of random videos to the super early hours of the morning.
Oh yeah, 3 a.m. EST, like every day at least.
Oh,
Easy
Okay.
money.
it's really cool. So come join us. Maybe you can come get on an episode too, if you're cool enough.
You never know.
Yeah, we're currently
yeah.
at 33 members, I believe. So come on and keep adding.
Hey, not the worst.
That's pretty good.
yeah.
That's pretty
bad.
good.
You can
And
come
not
also.
counting Busey's bot.
Yeah, not counting the bot.
There you
yeah.
go, BC.
But you can always come in too, and like talk about boy groups, girl groups, whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want. Doesn't matter to us.
Life.
Talk about BM. That's all I'm saying.
Talk about
Yeah,
BM.
well, we
Send
get, we
Josh
get enough of
shirtless
that.
BM pics.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
it's
that
fun.
guy yesterday for coming in and instantly leaving and deleting himself from the chat.
Oh yeah, we're like
Instantly
streaming
deleting
the
himself.
Seize the Light together, so we can all watch that together. So we all love twice.
we are.
But I think the biggest shout out we have to make is shout out to Yeji's mother.
Oh yeah,
The
shout out to
member
Yeji's
who's
mother.
joined,
Mom.
never said a single word while we've tagged her probably hundreds of times. And they won't
Online-
say a thing. Shout out to
Online more than anyone, honestly. Always online.
So hopefully they
just-
hear this, listening to this podcast, and they're like, "Oh crap, I should probably go respond to them."
One day it'll happen. I hope. One
Man.
day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because-
Discord's great. Make new friends. You're like guaranteed. There's like 5 or 6 of us that are constantly talking on there all day. So if you join, you're guaranteed to make at least 6 new friends. So
Oh,
It's a lot of
absolutely.
bang
That's
for your
6 more
buck
than
right
I
there.
have.
that's pretty good. It's 6 more than he's got. So come join. It's great.
Join the Discord.
Yeah.
And that was okay. That was our concerts we've been to. That was a very in-depth. That was good work.
Yeah,
That
it's a
was
pretty
like-
long episode. We might split
Lot.
this into 2 episodes.
We probably will
yeah.
split this one into 2 episodes.
that's fine.
But that's okay because we want to hear
It's
everyone's
important.
story.
Everything
It
needs
is-
to be known.
It is important. But to
Can't
finish out,
skimp on a concert.
can't skimp on a concert.
Skimp on the
No,
Miss-
skimpy.
Can't
Shrimp
not
on
try and
the
break into a
scampi.
concert, right, Josh?
Yeah. Shut
The
up.
lobby.
That happened to you like 3 different times. So I'm starting
Okay,
to
I
question
don't know
your
what it is. I
tactics
had-
here.
I'm starting to think
Like-
it's you. I'm thinking
You're
it's
like,
a
oh,
you
this is
problem.
Concert, I had Everglow. I always find out a way to get screwed over at a concert. I don't know what it is.
And still
And
get
then you're
great
kicking
perks.
Zeg out of photos. Like, come on,
I'm
man.
kicking
Yeah.
Zeg out of
Yeah.
photos.
Come on,
If
man.
Zeg wasn't there with us in the photo, we should refuse to take it. I would've left.
Oh my god.
But all right, to finish out, I guess this is part 2 of our concerts episodes. We're gonna go around. We have our 1 through 5, top 5, I guess, must do things at a concert for someone wanting to go. Like what they need to know. Like what do you need to know about a K-pop concert before you go? Since we've obviously been to a few, you guys have been more than me. So what advice would we give? Top 5 things
to like new people that
to
are
new
listening to this,
people.
wondering
To
like,
Tom.
oh, I'm scared. I don't
What's
want to go to a
K-pop
show.
thing?
Like, what to
do I need
expect?
to do, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
who wants to lead it off?
I'll lead it off. I want, to me, this is the most important thing.
So
And
starting
it's kinda
off with the
funny,
most important.
Super simple.
Okay.
2 things with your phone.
Bring sunscreen.
1, clear up space for photos and videos.
That's a good one.
Or
That is a
I'm
good one.
mid-concert and I run out of space and I have to delete a bunch of
I'm
stuff.
so
Don't
not
be
surprised by that at
fool.
all.
I'm not either.
I'm not
Number
surprised
2
with
with
that.
your phone, bring a power bank. The last thing you want is your phone to
Absolutely.
die mid-concert.
Good tip.
That's pretty
there.
good tips.
Good tip. So was
Yeah.
that was 1 or was that 2?
That was my number 1.
Okay, that's your number
those
1.
are both
thing.
related to phones.
That's a dual one.
Okay, it's 1 and 1A. All right, Zeg, you go.
We'll just go in clockwise order.
Okay. Oh, okay. Mine's like, so this is just related, like, for someone like me who likes to go alone, like, before I met all y'all. Like, just don't be afraid to talk to anybody, like, while you're waiting for the doors to open, because 9 out of
Good.
10 times, it's going to make your concert experience just infinitely better. So, like, just talk to someone, even if it's literally just about the concert you're about to see. Just do it.
Good advice.
And you're there for the same reason.
Yeah.
And that's why we
Yeah.
met you guys and stuff. So obviously,
Then
like,
you guys find out you have the same bias as your bias buddies for life.
Exactly. Help kids fix their Blackpink light sticks too. Like
It's true.
that was like the craziest story ever.
right.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That was okay. That was a good one. All right, Fog, you're up.
I know some people can't afford it, but if you're gonna get tickets, get the best ones you possibly can.
100%.
Because, like I've said many times, I said earlier, you get the high touch, even if it's like that split second of meeting them and seeing them, like making eye contact with them. You may never have the opportunity to do that again. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
You can
bands
say
in
you
America where they tour all the time. So if you miss them, you're like, oh, they'll be back in a year. Or they'll put out a new album, they'll be back. It's like, they're here now. It might be a little bit of money, but if you like, you really like love this group and this is like your favorite member. Like you guys have had your experiences with your like ultimate biases. I've yet to experience that. So
the utter joy.
just
No
just
price tag on
knowing that you like get to see them and like they touched you, like they can always like know like, oh, I saw this person. Like maybe one day they'll wake up and be like, oh, I saw this random Asian kid with holes in his ears. It's weird, but he was there.
Exactly.
And I'll be
you never know.
And I'll be like, yeah, that was me.
That was
And
you.
then, like,
Bruce
you
Willis
both have
came
that.
up and gave us a high five.
You'll both have that forever. So I mean, if you can afford to spend the extra money to like get the extra fan experience, like get the pictures, get the high touch, get any of that, I highly suggest you do it. I know not everybody can do that. So I mean, going to the shows is cool too, just going there. But if you can afford the extra stuff, go for the extra stuff because you're not going to regret it.
100%
That's
agree.
fair.
Absolutely.
That was actually like pretty much like part of my number one.
That was
like,
one of mine
like,
too.
That was like
Because like you'll look back on it and be like,
it's
oh,
the number one thing. It's the number
like
one thing.
years from now, I can be like, oh yeah, maybe I don't like listen to K-pop as much anymore. I do other stuff. Like, oh yeah, remember that time I like saw twice and I like touched all their hands and like we shared this awesome moment together.
You always have that.
Like, wow, that's totally worth the $500 I paid for it.
I mean, literally, just like the feel special moment, like the pure happiness moment that it creates. I mean, you're not gonna forget that. Yep, you're not gonna forget that. So,
but yeah,
I mean, that is like the number one. Honestly, like that is
like if you can do it, do it.
that was pretty much like that was like part of my number one. Like if you can, like obviously, like if you have to save or whatever, like do it. Go big, just go big. But like my number one was literally just like, if you have any thoughts at all, just you need to go to the concert. Like any means necessary, go to the concert at least. Because if you're a K-pop fan, Fog said it, you guys have said it, you will not get this chance maybe ever again. You don't know what's gonna happen. So okay, maybe you're not spending $500 to get a high touch with someone, but like go to the concert because then you just need to like have that memory. You need to create that memory, especially with these types of concerts. It might not happen, so any means necessary. If you have to travel, if you have to like hit up people to stay with, if you have to take off work, like obviously if you can't go, like you can't go, but try. Like if you have any thought in your head, just go, just try and make it happen because K-pop concerts, I mean, you're just not gonna forget them, and if you really love the idols and the groups, like it's always 100% going to be worth it.
100%.
Number 2. Josh.
Me. Okay.
The leader
so the
of
rest
this
of these
list.
are numbered in importance. I just had to get the phone one in. So, my next one is going to be show up early.
Yeah.
So every time I've shown up early.
Hand up, we're horrible at that.
Yes, you do. I've met some of my best friends at these concerts, and it's just because I showed up early and I talked with them. You know, I met them. You can't replace friendships. I don't really know how more to elaborate on it. Show up early.
It's true.
You get to see cool things. You get to see BM come out at the back of the line and say hi to everybody. You know.
True.
You never know what you miss if you just show up right when the door is open. So my recommendation is show up as early as you can. I mean, I've been waiting out for 10 hours before a concert before at the venue. I mean,
yeah,
it's a experience you can't replace.
That's part of the fun too, is being there that early.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the freebies.
Yeah.
Yeah, freebies are cool.
All right, Zach, what is your number dose?
So my number dose and actually number 3 as well they're related more towards like traveling. Like for me, like I've traveled to Chicago, and for me, I have to take a plane to get there. So like my tip there is just like travel light, honestly.
When you go to Korea,
you never know like how much stuff you're gonna come back with, or like you don't want to have so much stuff to have to worry about bringing back to like that you brought with you. So yeah, like for me, like traveling light, just like a backpack with like your bare minimum essentials, and then like enough clothes to get you through like how long you're going to be there. So just travel light.
That's
That's
a good
for
one.
I
people
guess.
to travel because we don't ever really experience that. So that's a
Not
good
on a plane
advice.
anyway. Not yet. Not yet. We didn't go to Korea yet, so
True.
but travel light. That's a good one. That's
You guys
like
got
very
to.
like good. We will.
One day when I get over my my plane thing, I'll go on a plane.
Do
Oh
it.
yeah, that's right.
We'll do it. All right, Fog.
Another one kind of like just involving going to the shows is everything's like online and people want videos and stuff, but a lot of times I go to them and just like enjoy it. Like don't worry about recording things, don't worry about taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or if you're gonna take pictures of them when they're like talking or like doing questionnaires. So they like give little times where they'll like just stand there to like take pictures of them with like good lighting and stuff. Most of the time when we go, I only take videos so I can like upload them to like our Instagram, because I feel like I kind of have to do it if we've been building up like, oh, we're going to this show. So if I'm like, oh yeah, we went, I didn't post anything, I'm like, well, that's kind of disappointing. But I'll probably take like maybe 1 or 2 videos, and after that, I just want to put my phone away and just enjoy it, like not pay attention to like
Soak it in.
have to worry about recording over people and all that stuff, but just like enjoy being in the moment and enjoy. I definitely feel like the older I've gotten, that it's kind of like I'd much rather enjoy just what's happening instead of like, oh yeah, I got this video from like 8 years ago of this show I went to. Like, unless I guess I get hit with early Alzheimer's or something, I'm gonna like remember it for a while. So, and also there's always gonna be other people that like take videos of stuff you can always look up and be like, oh yeah, I was there, like I experienced this, But my advice is just go experience it, enjoy it. Don't worry about, being on your phone, taking pictures, getting like the perfect video. Just enjoy the moment.
That wasn't like my next one on the list, but that was like the one after that, so I'll just jump to that one. That was mine too. Is like I was gonna say like sound the like old people alarm, but yeah, don't get lost in your phone.
Boomer
just
alert.
yeah, it was like get
Okay,
the
boomer.
Get the just enjoy like watching the idols.
It's like a once in a lifetime
yeah,
thing,
like, I mean, if you get too soaked up in your phone, and we're on our phones all the time anyway, and obviously you want to capture moments to remember, and that's cool. Like if take pictures, take videos and stuff, but don't get too. Pretty much everything Fog said. Don't get too overwhelmed with worrying about a video or a picture. Like just watch the idols perform, and like you love them, and just like watch them. They're right there in front of you, and they're real people. So that was one of mine too, is because I feel like, just like you said, with all the like concerts and stuff we've been to, it's just over time. It's like I kind of just want to stand here and watch.
Yeah, I
Just
wanna,
enjoy
like,
it. Just have fun. Not that taking pictures is like bad, because obviously we all still do, but
Or, like, enjoy
when
the-
you see some people literally just like
and record like
click.
the whole thing.
It's like I'd rather watch them with my eyes than watch through a phone.
And
Or
when
they're
they
like-
hold it above their head and block everybody else's
Yeah,
view.
Exactly.
Or you just, like,
Yeah.
I
enjoy
want
the
pet
show and maybe record like your favorite song, so you always have them
Yeah.
playing your favorite song or something, or like a short part of it. Like you don't need to like sit there and record like a 20-minute video. You know what I'm saying? Like
Like the only way I can see these idols when they're not performing is through my phone anyway, through like media, like Korean shows and music videos and everything. So I'm not gonna sit on my phone and watch them when they're right there. Like I don't know. This is my
That's a good point.
our old man like takes on
Josh
it. now.
isn't at that age.
Josh
yet.
isn't there yet. But
Not there yet.
that was one of mine. I completely agree.
100% agree with all that.
All right, Josh, next one.
All right, next one is do fan engagements if they're before the concert. So for me at Red Mare, I had a group that we went and got KBBQ before the concert. Then we went to go get Starbucks.
Gosh, the
At
life.
Dreamcatcher, we all went to get Subway together. Like it's just a great experience when you meet other fans.
You mean
and the way
having
I've done it-
friends?
Yeah, if I had friends. The way I've done it is on Facebook groups for the concerts. We'll get together and go, hey, is anybody interested in going to, like I said, to K Barbecue before the concert? And we'll get a group, 5-6 of us to go. We meet up, go there, talk about the groups, talk about music, talk about our lives, and you just get to make great relationships with people that can last. I mean, I've made more friends with K-pop than probably anything else. It's a great way to connect with people all around the entire country.
You had me at Starbucks.
Yeah, you had me.
That's awesome. Though. I never even really knew that was like necessarily like a thing of like a meetup in a way. So that's actually like really dope.
Yeah,
I was gonna say we've done that with ourselves.
I don't know how technology works, so I'd never know any of that
I
existed.
didn't know, but that's actually like very. I've seen like meetups for like people that have like
Craigslist.
merch and stuff. Yeah,
And I don't think those are the same.
but I've never seen one like that. That's actually very cool.
We'll have to hit those up if we ever go to another show.
I mean,
I'll let you
Starbucks.
guys
We're there.
know.
I'm all
next
about
concert.
Starbucks.
We always get Starbucks. All right, Zachary.
Okay. So again, this is another one related to travel. This is just based on personal experience. Just if you have to stay in a hotel room or like Airbnb, try to get it as close as you possibly can to the venue.
That's a good advice.
Even if it means like, yeah, sometimes like you might have to pay just like a tad extra because you're near, I forget what they call it, but like an entertainment place. But it's definitely worth it, especially after the concerts and how late they can get out. It's a godsend to only have to walk, like for this last one, like a couple 100 feet and you're at your room. Or like it's an extra place you can just put extra merch down that you don't feel like holding throughout the whole concert. And you don't want to have to Uber around everywhere.
True.
So-
That costs money, man. It
Yeah,
builds up
it-
after a while.
It does. Yeah. So really just get as close as you possibly can.
I'm loving Zeg with all the very actual like practical like.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, it's.
We don't
it's
have, like I
huge.
said, we don't really have that experience. We don't. The farthest we travel is a few hours, and we drive there. So I mean,
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
never done.
I
one
love
where we-
flying to places.
I do too. I just haven't
Everything.
I've never done one for like any K-pop show. Like luckily we live close to Chicago, so we can go there for anything. But yeah, I love the.
and I've never been on a plane, so
One day, maybe.
My
Okay.
goal now is get you on a plane.
I mean, it's not
You're
the going on the. Okay, first off, people, I'm not afraid of planes or flying. I don't care about that. That's not what I'm worried about. I just get really bad motion sickness, and I don't want to be motion sick in the plane. Is all it is.
So what you're saying is the first one's going to be a 16-hour flight to Korea.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I
those-
guess just get the worst one out that I possibly can.
that 13-hour flight for me changed my entire view on flying. I now love it.
See, I feel like if
Oh,
I
yeah.
get on the plane and I go, I'll be fine. But like I was saying before, like I can't ride in, like the back seats of cars for too long. I can't take the metro down in Chicago, like any of that kind of stuff. So
Honestly, a plane, maybe not all the time, but overall might be much more smooth ride than the metro because the metro like drives over bumps. I swear on purpose. It's,
yeah,
like,
but I'm
so
saying like
annoying.
I just a constant motion and just like any of that kind of stuff. Like I can't like ride roller coasters. I can't do rides. I can't do any of that stuff.
Wow.
So
We'll get there.
yeah,
One
maybe.
day.
But no, as far as being in the air, thousands of feet and flying and all that, like I don't care about any of that. That doesn't bother me.
Well, now that we've cleared that up,
Yeah, no, like
Now that the
it is
fans know.
it has nothing to do with
Now
that.
that the fans
now that
know,
we know it's not a fear of his.
Yeah, no, it's not a fear of mine. I just don't. My fear is being motion sick. It has nothing to do with actually being in a plane and flying. I could care less about that.
all right, Fog
Um,
number whatever we're on.
my third one kind of goes to what Zach said earlier, where it's like, it's really important because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm shy. I don't like talking to people, like engaging people, but don't be afraid to meet new people when you go to these things. And the best way to meet them is literally, don't be ashamed of decking yourself out in your favorite group's merchandise.
Gosh, you steal all my.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah,
you literally
that's
you'll literally be standing there and someone will be like, oh, it's a cool shirt. Is that your bias? Like, yeah. And like, oh, it's my bias. And you guys are like best friends and you guys can talk. 'Cause you're all there for the same reason. You're all there to see the group, you know? So you're already got your foot in the door. You don't have that awkward stage of like, oh, do you like this group or do you like this? Because you know they do because they're there. So don't be afraid to wear whatever you want to wear. Like, you're like, oh, do I really need to wear this, super M shirt with this hat and these super M pants that have like their faces all over them? Yes, do it.
wow.
Because people will be
Good.
like, that's awesome. Like, I love that. Like, where did you get those at? And it starts a conversation. So you're already 3/4 of the way to having a new friend at that point. So you just got to not be afraid to meet people, not be afraid to, like, be unabashful about, showing your love for, your group or your member or whatever it is. Because people
Yeah.
gravitate towards that. And then, you're good to go.
Yeah, that was pretty much another one of mine too, is wear awesome merch. Mainly like support like your bias in the group
Or us.
Or the group,
yeah,
or the-
or
or the
us.
bias.
Hopefully we can just be your bias. But yeah, like wear
just support
awesome wear dope merch even if you have a way to make it or something. Like that's always the best is when it's like from
Homemade
the
stuff's
heart.
the best.
Like just like a t-shirt or something like that's and yeah, it's like for that reason too, like meeting people, but if you get a chance to do a high touch or a photo, like you have to make sure like that bias will see your shirt and they're on your shirt, so they know like you support that individual bias. And that's been like some of my best like fan service memories from like Momo and Yeji and just like some of my favorite idols out there. I've like had those specific moments because I've had that merch with them and they know I support them individually. So I think it's like if you have like a really awesome ultimate bias, like definitely show that love for them, because if you can get a chance to meet them, or even like Fog said, get mutual friends that like them, like people will see you like them and they'll know it, whether it be them or the idol.
Like think of how many compliments you get, or I get on like shirts when you have like random like pictures.
We've always just made like random stuff and people like love it. We're like, oh, I love your shirt, and it's just like an Instagram photo of Momo that I just put, like I had someone put on the shirt, or just like, yeah, it's just like the merch is like so important. It's just cool. It's a cool way to stand out, and it's an awesome way for your idol to like really notice like you.
And you can make it by yourself. You like customize it however you want. And honestly, if I like see somebody walking around with like a custom shirt or something, I'm like, wow, this person's like really into like this group or member. They like love them enough to like take their time to do it.
Yeah.
Instead of just buying like a generic shirt offline, or like, you know, getting like a tour shirt, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But you know what I'm saying? They go like the extra mile to like show how much of fans they are because they took the time to make the shirt for the event. And I always think that's really cool. So always like, if I see a random cool shirt, I always compliment people on their shirts. I'm like, hey man, this shit's dope. I'm like, thanks. I'm like, best friends for life. See you after the show.
All right, 2 more each. Josh, you go.
Okay, this one I just thought of on the spot. Only bring what you need for the concert. So
Yeah, that's true.
it speeds
No
up the security.
jackets.
This just bring, don't, if you have a bag that you're bringing, I recommend the fanny pack. Don't pack it full of stuff. Bring only what you need, because that will get you through security a lot faster. If it's an event where it's seated, that's not the biggest deal. But if it's like a general admission where it's all about getting there quicker, if you only have 5 items in your bag versus 20, it takes you a lot less time to get through security checks, and you can get into the venue a lot quicker.
100%.
Good advice. Don't get caught going to the coat rack like you did.
Yeah.
Don't get caught. Don't get caught. That's a good one, though. That's a good one. All right, Zeg.
Yeah, so another kind of travel-y one, but I think this goes for really anything. Bring enough cash on you for the entire day.
That's
Yep.
that's great advice.
Like, there's actually some I've been to. I think one of the concerts I went to, they only accepted cash. So
Wow.
like I was like really
Sketchy.
lucky to like have cash on me. Yeah. And some of them I know in for the Red Mare one, if I used cash, I got in and out of the merch line quicker, which meant I got to go into the venue quicker. But also just like, I mean, using credit cards, you could get denied at any point. So just have cash to like last
I've
you
seen
through the
it
whole
in
day.
front of me in line.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's happened to me too. So just have cash. Like make sure you have enough cash to last you that whole day.
definitely.
You never know.
That's a good one. I'm learning as we speak.
I'm learning about what it's going to be like if I ever travel anywhere.
Seriously.
Out of the
You're welcome.
comfort, after the comforts of the Midwest. My next one's going to be another important thing about being in shows is don't forget to just be yourself and have fun. Because you know
That was my next one.
you can't worry about what other people think of you. I mean, just you know, if you want to sing, you want to dance in the like the aisleways, like you want to see people doing, or you want to, you know,
That guy at Everglow.
yeah,
He was
scream,
getting it.
cry.
Dude, he was killing it.
He was.
Just don't be afraid to like be yourself. Like people aren't gonna judge you. Like they don't care. If anything, they're gonna think you're really cool. So, or they're doing the same thing. So don't be afraid to just be who you are, let loose, have fun. Which is honestly the most important thing there. Because I mean, if you're like going there like, oh, people are gonna think I'm weird if I do this, then you're not gonna have fun. So just go be yourself. Don't worry about any of that other stuff. Nobody cares. I'm telling you that right now. Like nobody. I've never seen anybody do any one thing. I'm just like, wow, that was weird. Or like, why did you do that? I'm just like, oh, look at that dude. He's having a blast over
We all
there.
love it.
Except when that girl smashed that bottle over that girl's head at the I Set My Friends
Okay, well
on Fire.
that was a concert. That wasn't a K-pop concert. That's
Whoa.
That was a little different.
I've seen a lot of sketchy things happen at other concerts, but not a K-pop
I'm just
concert.
kidding. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I mean, obviously you're all there on like that common love for the group, so
I'm like, man, this guy's choreo's on point. This guy's getting
yeah,
it.
like
Let's go.
everyone's gonna appreciate like everything. I mean, that's just how it is. Especially like just how special all the groups are to all the different fans. So
Yeah, just be yourself. I know a lot of people think, or nowadays I care, you know, what other people think, and everyone thinks people are judging them. No, it's not like that. So, I'm telling you right now, don't be afraid. Just do whatever you want to do and be yourself.
inspirational.
Yeah, put that on a Hallmark
Put
card.
that on a
Yeah,
poster. Oh, coffee mug.
coffee
Tear
mug.
my eye.
Yeah, that's something that I've struggled with, like when I first started with concerts. When I first started going, like I thought I was being judged just for being there. So, 100% agree with everything that was just said.
Have you powered
Yeah.
through that point yet?
Yeah, for the most part.
Good.
Because you're gonna look to your left or look to your right, and there's someone that's doing the exact same thing, like right next to you. You
Yeah,
know?
so why not do it? Like,
'Cause
it's
there's-
your moment, like your experience. Like,
Because you
K-pop
guys
is
just
so
do it.
judged.
You guys probably noticed too. There's like a huge age discrepancy in like
I was
the
just about
fans.
to bring it up.
Like it's not like it's a
Yeah.
bunch of little girls.
65-year-old
You know,
men go to
Yeah.
this, and I'm thinking, you're living your life, dude. Freaking awesome.
there's like one of the guys we were telling you about that did like the multiple high touch thing was like an older like balding white guy, and he was freaking out because he like loved ITZY, and he was like having a blast at the show. And I'm like, dude, just
Heck
live your
yes.
life, bro. Live your best life. This is the best.
I love it. I just love seeing everyone of the different ages just having fun. And it's like, oh, like
Sometimes we would go and I'm like, we're gonna be the oldest people here. Like, be a bunch of little girls
Nope.
and kids. Not even close.
Yeah.
We're like in the
Not
middle.
even close.
it's
the best.
it's awesome seeing like parents bringing their kids or even the old, like all the ages. It's just cool seeing what like that can bring. Just what K-pop can do as like a community, especially over here in like America too. Like obviously it's like a foreign thing. They're not even from here, and like all these people share this common love. It's just really cool to see of like all the different ages that can like it. My turn now. Good one, Flog. I'm pumped up after that. What was my next one? Let me look. Oh, it was fan interactions with your favorite idol. I mean,
Oh boy.
you will always remember those. I mean, pretty much like I mentioned with like wearing the merch with your idol that they saw. Like, if there's a way you can like have stand out to your idol or your bias, definitely try to do that. Because I mean, like I even remember for like Everglow, just like Mia looking at me and just like literally like throwing it back, like waving, and then she did it like back at me. It's just those like little tiny things that little like connection you have with the person, even if it's for a second. You're just like never gonna forget those moments. So definitely, if you have a chance to interact with your bias in any type of way, I mean, freaking Josh, you got Sungy took your phone twice, and like you guys have been right there. So like obviously, if you have any chance to interact with your bias, definitely do it, because those are just like huge moments you will like not forget.
One day I'll interact with my bias.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll
I
get
might
you
have
there.
to. I might have to go to Korea for it, but maybe.
Seriously.
Hey, we'll go with you.
I'll go with you.
Awesome.
All right, last
All right,
round.
my last one. All right, this one applies to multiple things. So be courteous to multiple people. Be courteous to the artist. You know, I mean, it may not look like it, but they're nervous up on stage because they want to make everybody happy. That's just what they want to do. What bugs me the most is when people throw things on stage. It pisses me off to no extent. Have you guys ever seen that?
I don't know if.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
have.
I've seen it
I don't
multiple
remember.
times.
You talking about like
I have
tomatoes and
to admit.
heads of lettuce and bottles?
I don't know.
Not exactly.
I haven't seen that.
I don't think
No, but
I don't think
people
I've
will
seen
throw
that.
things on stage, and it's rude and it's dangerous. To be honest with you, so be courteous to the artists. You know, they're doing a lot, putting themselves out there for you to enjoy it. Be courteous to the staff. They're working hard that day. They prepared for this day, doing run-throughs and planning stuff out. You know, I'm hard on them I mean, I've said it. I'm hard on them because I somehow always get screwed over in one way, and I get mad. But I always thank the staff. You know, they're doing a lot of hard work that day. They're trying their best to make
Definitely.
sure everybody's experience is the best that it possibly can be.
Definitely.
So always thank the staff, and then be courteous to other fans. Don't go out trying to start drama. I've literally seen it, where I've been at a concert and one fan is trying to start beefing with another fan, and I'm like, this is not the time and place. Just be courteous to others. Don't do something that you know or don't do something purposefully for the point of making somebody else mad or ruining somebody else's experience.
True. Very
Just
true.
be
point.
courteous to
Very
staff,
true.
to artists, to other fans. That's my biggest one.
I have like one thing that's like perfect. One thing just like that like reminded me of at a concert is like a very specific moment in the concert that's always bugged me sometimes, is if if the idols are trying to like just talk, like no music, just talk in like a line, let them like speak and maybe don't say, "Hey, I love you" as loud as you can. Like I know,
Yes.
I know,
Oh my
like
God.
obviously everyone's really excited to see there and like it's hard to contain yourself, but sometimes when they're trying to like share their message and it's like quiet and everyone's listening, maybe don't scream at the top of your lungs like, "Oh my gosh, such and such, I love you," and it like kind of cuts off the idol. You're literally like cutting off the idol.
Yeah,
and
it
then
breaks
it's
their
like,
train of thought.
Yeah, it's just
Especially
that-
in a second language. It's not
Or
even
you
their
can't
first
even hear what
language.
they're saying.
Yeah, or and you can't hear what they're saying because they just keep going, and then like it's just like maybe when the idols are just trying to talk, whether it be in English or Korean or whatever, just listen,
Let
and
them
then
talk.
go crazy once the music starts. That was always one thing.
Thank you.
Just at a few, not like some of the bigger ones, but some of the smaller shows we've been to, that I'm always just let like they're people too, like be courteous, like you said, be courteous to them, let them talk, and then once the music hits, go crazy.
Yeah.
That was a
Thank
good
you.
ones though.
That's
Joe.
Yeah,
perfect.
that's really good. All right, so I guess for my last one, Josh can attest to this. And from my own personal experience, just always expect something to go wrong.
Incredible.
It's true.
That's so perfect.
Like I've seen it. Like we all think that like everything's running so smooth, and then something happens, to like just ruin that moment. So just honestly, just don't go in expecting that it's going to run buttery smooth. Something's going to go wrong, whether it's directly affects you or not. Something's going to go wrong, and just take that as a part of that concert experience. Because in the end, it really won't affect it if you just kind of embrace it.
Good point.
I mean, every time I've had my issues, it still end up having a wonderful concert.
Yeah.
So
Which was
don't let
every
that one
single
point
one you've
bring
been
it
to.
down.
That's
Pretty
That's
much.
also
actually
true.
like a really good point, Zay. That's a really good point.
Great point.
It's kind of funny. My
Fuck.
turn.
You're up, Fug.
Okay.
Last one.
This is an actual life tip for everything.
Oh boy.
Two of them actually. One
Very far.
is to stay hydrated and actually drink water
Yeah.
before you
Oh
go to
my
the
God,
show because you're gonna
yes.
be there for a while, and you don't want to, like.
Mm.
We
Have
literally
to
were at a
leave.
show where like a girl passed out.
Yeah, Itzy.
Oh, yeah.
Itzy
Yeah.
waiting in line for the high
had it
touch. They had to have like paramedics.
for Red
in.
Velvet.
Yeah, so like stay hydrated, eat and drink properly before you. I understand you're probably excited or nervous or whatever, but eat or
Shit,
drink
me.
properly before you go, so you don't have to pay for it later. Because you don't want to like miss anything,
Right,
like go
right,
get
right.
drinks or like pay the extra money for like expensive drinks. And then the other part of that is go to the bathroom when you get there, so you don't have to get up in the middle of the show
Bless.
and walk in front of other people, or
Huge.
get up and miss something because that's the last thing you want to do. They're only there for an hour or so, hour and a half maybe, depending on what's going on. And you don't want to miss any of it because this is your one chance to see them. You don't want to miss it. So stay hydrated and go to the bathroom before the show starts.
Huge
good.
tips.
Good tip.
That's
True.
wonderful.
We
Those
do
are
it-
also tips for life.
We
though,
do it
so
every time.
Stay hydrated
Stay
in life
hydrated.
and go to the bathroom before you leave your house because
Those are
nobody
perfect.
likes stopping at random gas stations and McDonald's to go to the
No,
bathroom.
yeah, or think of like a movie theater where someone's like, excuse me, like,
Excuse me.
just take care of it before and you'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, my last one. You guys all already said it. It's make K-pop friends because that's why we're here. We literally met each other for 30 seconds after one concert. No more, and like we've already become such good friends. We talk every
Fuck,
single
that makes
day.
sense.
Every single day. I mean, we've
We
had
literally do talk
over
every day.
over a 3-hour podcast. I talk to you more than other people that I've known for much, much longer. So like make K-pop friends, be friendly. You guys said it. You're all there for a common goal. You guys all love K-pop, love a certain group. Just be friendly because you never know what could happen. I mean, whether it be having a podcast or a Discord or following each other on social media, those are friends that you're gonna, have for a long time because you're always gonna share that love. So make your K-pop friends because they're gonna last.
Also, think about all the random people that joined our Discord that we
Yeah.
talk to all the time now from all over the world because they like K-pop too.
Yeah, and just that interest just brings you together, and people only want to be friendly about it and just talk to them because, I mean, obviously what's better than K-pop is talking more about K-pop, so that's what everyone wants to do. So
And we've said it before how it's kind of hard for some reason to find other people that are into K-pop, even though you go to shows and there's thousands of people there, and then you leave and you're just where are all these people at? Are they just closet K-pop fans and don't admit it, or what?
They
I
all
don't
live their own
understand.
lives somewhere.
Yeah, they're doing something.
They're out there.
You know,
Yeah.
so you just got to find them and talk to them. And generally, for the most part, all K-pop fans are pretty nice. You know, like they're not like gonna be
Yeah.
mean to you. They're not gonna like hate on you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just those rare exceptions. When people
Yeah.
want to cause trouble. Stay away from Twitter. That's not the place to go to find K-pop friends.
Twitter
Yeah,
can be dangerous. Be careful on Twitter.
I've
That's
never,
a minefield.
I've never like met like anyone at a show that's been like rude or disrespectful. Like, obviously you see the crap on the internet, whatever. But like meeting people or talking to people at shows, even people we've randomly chatted with in line, never met anyone that's been rude. Everyone's been super friendly, super kind.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just awesome people.
But yeah, that's pretty good. Those are good tips.
That was great tips. That was like really good.
I
good.
feel like I learned something too, and I've been to
Yeah.
a ton of concerts.
I know, seriously. I that was a good way to close things out. But we have been here a while. It has been over 3 hours, but it's okay because
Wow.
we had I don't know. That was an episode where we couldn't really we couldn't cut any corners in that one. We couldn't cut any corners, but I think we did pretty well.
Yeah, I'd like to thank our special guests for coming on this week.
Thank you to our special guests, Josh and Zeg.
Is there any free promotion you guys want to give out right now to the fans?
Social medias,
If they wanna
anything.
find
Go
you.
ahead.
I mean, I guess I'll just do like the selfish plug of my Instagram. It's really the most active social media that I use. It's at your boy Zeg. That's going to be your underscore boy underscore Zeg. I don't post a whole lot, but when I do, it's quality stuff.
That's what counts.
Humble. Stay humble.
Quality.
Stay humble.
So
It's only fire.
yeah,
For me, it's gonna be the same thing. My Instagram is gonna be at ohmygirls_kitchen_table. I don't post a whole ton, but when I do, I try to make it fun.
It's about Oh My Girl.
Videos of Sunghi.
It's all about. It's not all about Oh My Girl, but they are my favorites. So I had to show them respect in the ad. So at ohmygirls_kitchen_table.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. It's been fun.
It's
thanks
been
for
real.
having
It's
me.
been
All right.
fun.
having
You
us.
guys have been some amazing guests. And if you want to come, clap it up for the guests. Good job,
Good job,
guys.
guys.
Good job, guys. And if you want to come talk to Josh and Zeg, like we've said a million times, join the Discord, and they'll be there every single day.
Join the
That's
Discord.
true.
Yeah.
And for our social medias, Fog, plug those before we send things home.
We're at Kpop Kimchi 101 on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then you can look us up just putting in Kpop Kimchi podcast in like iTunes, or I guess it's Apple Podcast, right?
Yeah.
Or on Spotify, or even if you just type it into Google, we will pop up in some form, and you can listen to us.
And if you want merch, hit us up on those social medias, and we will make sure to get you some wristbands, stickers.
I still have
t-shirts.
some merch left. It is very,
It's going fast.
It's literally very
It is
limited
going
right
fast. You're gonna want to get that merch
Um,
now because it's in high demand.
now. But
And,
yeah,
and can
so
I add, having the merch, it's high
Oh,
quality.
Josh is
stuff.
back.
It's not,
Oh, it's
High
really
quality
high quality.
so get it. I mean, I wear my shirt, I wear my wristband. It's great.
I didn't pay them to say that. They actually paid me
No.
to give it to them. So you know
Not
it's
a-
true.
no.
No,
Paid sponsorship.
they were some of the first to have our merch, so they would know best.
I just like hooking up our fans, represent.
I wear a wristband every day.
So do I. I wear my shirts literally whenever I leave the house and go places. Yeah, so look us up, Kpop Kimchi 101. We'll see you guys next week.
We
with a
love
new
you
episode.
guys.
Thanks for
Take
listening.
it easy. Come back and listen. Peace.
Stan Luna.
Stan Luna.
And Luna.
Wow, so good.
What is so good?
Oh, my
Chip-
favorite.
Your chip favorite